Good morning, I am meteorologist Steve Krasnowski with your weather briefing storm scoop update. It is Monday, December 7th, 2020, and we will call this one Relive and Reload. So let's look at what's going on outside. Let's look at a little bit of what happened with our previous storm, which I will call a bust, and let's look at what's happening for the rest of the week. All right, we have another cold one this morning. Snowing in Richmond. Temps in the 20s from central New Jersey on northward, and that battleground again in Virginia in terms of the rain-snow line. Speaking of temps, this is a nice anomalous warmth to build in from the high plains into the Midwest and Northeast by the weekend. It's definitely a change. And if you're into that sort of thing, this is temps for right before Christmas. So if this held, Santa would be sweating throughout most of the United States, and except for Alaska. Nice and cold in Alaska. What else we got? We have potential for a winter weather system Friday and Saturday. That's where we think the low will be on Thursday. What we can't determine yet is whether a few things: how hard the precip will be. We believe there'll be a good amount of QPF. But the big idea is, will it take a more northern track, bringing that snow back into Minnesota, the Dakotas, and Wisconsin, or will it be a more southern track, which would be more of a rain and snow type deal with obviously different players at hand. So it's something to keep an eye on. This was the expected snowfall for New England. We did not get many of these totals. Again, I like to think of it as a bust, and I think it's important to go back and look at what went wrong, because sometimes the autopsy is more important than the diagnosis or prognosis. So this was an event where we had the axes of high totals and the correct impact of wet snow and power outages. There were many power outages, but didn't do well on totals outside of the main band. Personally, I should have seen red flags in the modeling and adjusted snow ratios from 7.1 to much lower values, because the QPF was pretty good. We got a good amount of rain and precipitation out of this storm, but just when it snowed, it just didn't snow enough. Didn't snow hard enough, oddly enough, to create enough cold air to cool the columns below it. So a lot of places that were expecting 4 to 8 inches of snow saw 1 to 2 inches of snow. Some places that were expecting 8 to 16 inches of snow saw more like 8 to 10 inches of snow. So, you live, you learn. That's the main thing when it comes to this. A good look Monday morning at the tropics. This is the southern flow action continuing this morning. Old frontal juice pumping in from the Gulf. Some strong storms still possible this AM in the Keys and southern Florida. And one more thing, this should have been above that. This was a little more about what happened with that storm. This is a vertical cross section. So we had strong downsloping, which is downward motion south of the White Mountains, which led to warming and drying of the air there. With temperatures already near freezing at the surface, it didn't take much of a topographical influence to make snowfall accumulation near impossible here. We had strong warm air advection, warming the air aloft, which prohibited the snow from growing. The dendrite zone was not very good either, so just a lot of technical stuff that, we see what we missed, and that's what we use to move forward, so that's good. Anyway, I'm done for today. I'm meteorologist Steve Krasnowski. Have a great week.